All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Fuck Wellness. I'm Mallory.
Your head is cut off.
Okay, cool. I'm still Mallory.
I'm Lara. And I'm Makena.
And this is our third hot seat with me, Mallory. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to let Lara and Makena lead the way on this one.
I mean, I think you have to start with your life.
Okay, my life bio. Yeah. Okay.
I will say a spoiler alert before we start this is we're recording all of our hot seat episodes in 2 days, meaning we have no new updates to give at the top of the episode.
No,
we can't
updates.
be like, how was your week, babe? Yeah. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. My life. I was born on a date. I like that. Honestly though, my handle on Instagram used to be my birthday. So if you followed me, then you do know my birthday.
Didn't it also be your middle name? Did it also have your middle name?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, but one of my emails does. So really you could figure out everything about me if you needed to.
You're a cybersecurity expert.
I have failed everything. Yeah. I actually took a training. I started working part-time for Arlington County, and I took a training on like cybersecurity best practices. And I was like, yeah, I'm fucked. Like, I'm not doing a single, like Brian makes fun of me, but I like, I'm not very good at changing my passwords very often. I need to get better at that.
This is why you just have a password manager.
The way that I know that I needed to do that, I've needed to do that for years, but I still don't. And like all the work trainings I've ever done yell at me for my passwords. Yeah. My dad is ashamed of me for my passwords. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah, I'm the same. I definitely need to change those up. Anyway.
Wait, I actually have a little teeny story.
Yeah, let me hear it.
It's about this. So at work the other day, one of my colleagues got this email and it was clearly a scam. Yeah. Like clearly like way asking like these questions that we're gonna give away all of your secret stuff to like hack your life basically. And we like played like we were gonna respond to it. Like we were like, oh, we should okay, let's sit down and let's really do this because they're probably like waiting. We have to like send this back. It was just really funny to be like,
did you make things up?
No, but it was like more to prank our coworkers.
Oh, like the bit
than
was
to like actually send it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, let's sit down and really do this. Like it was good.
Last week, a very similar thing happened to me on my like Arlington County work email. They sent me they sent a scam email. And it was pretty good. It was like manager at Arlington County. Like it was like the normal
and then
emails.
They say, gotcha.
What?
Wait. Like, you know how some companies like they
oh my god,
send out phishing emails.
Oh,
like the school
Mm-hmm.
district I work for sends out phishing emails.
That's so
and if you take the bait, then you're required to do training.
No, well, so I didn't take the bait because the email was supposed to be from my manager saying that she had a family emergency and needs me to now monitor her email inbox, and that here's like the link to log into her inbox so I can monitor it while she's gone. And it was written in a very convincing way. And so at first I was like, that's weird that she wouldn't tell me that she had a family emergency. But like, okay. And then I was like, I actually feel like, why would you have me monitor her inbox? I work 1 hour a week. Like I'm teaching this class. Like I feel like it would be pretty obvious that I can't do that.
And we're passing the baton to you.
Yeah. And I was like, really? I feel like she has two people who are underneath her. Like, why would I be the one to do that? So anyway, then I quickly realized it. I forwarded it to her and she was like, yeah, no, that's not me. So anyway, okay. I was born in Ventura, California, to two loving parents who worked quite hard to conceive me. I was I don't know if I was one of the first, but I was early on in the ICSI baby world. So you've heard of in vitro, but I was not in vitro. I was ICSI, which was kind of like the iteration before in vitro. Obviously,
so sorry, that name is so
horrible. ICSI. Yeah, it's not sexy. No.
Clearly they needed to draft that again.
Yeah. Are you gonna explain what ICSI is?
Well, essentially when two people love each other very much but cannot conceive a child.
More people.
Yeah. No, whatever is needed for
1%. You guys are not getting canceled on the podcast.
Okay, yeah. No, unlimited amounts, 0, 1, 2.
Yeah, it could be 0.
Yeah, it could be 0. Don't actually physically know how that would happen, but anyway, okay. Yeah, they take an egg from my mom and sperm from my dad, and they put it in a petri dish and put the sperm into the egg and you asked me to describe it.
And they put on some sexy music.
Yeah.
And their gloves are real nice.
Yeah, and then they put it back up and they put 6 eggs back inside of my mom. And so that's why
you could have had 5 others.
Yeah, so I actually had to physically murder multiple other fetuses while I was in there. Anyway, but yeah, so I was a pretty expensive and very wanted baby. Yeah. They had to do a lot of planning for that.
Do you know if any of that was covered by health insurance?
That'd be a great question.
I would highly doubt it that early.
Ask my mom and
it would
dad.
have.
I mean, it's not really very much covered right now.
Yeah, it would have been very experimental, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was sort of, the conception piece of me.
Really starting at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's one of the more interesting facts about
really
me.
Interesting.
Wait, can you keep going though? I don't really quite understand. Like, you were made in the petri dish, so you became a little embryo in the petri dish, and then did you get put back in Jean?
I was put back in Jean, so there were 6 of us.
What if she just grew in the petri dish forever?
I don't think
grew inside a bathtub, and then
I think that's a hostile environment, honestly.
I wonder if they're doing that though, like creating
probably
like wombs of
synthetic wombs.
No, no, there literally are, but I mean, you can't. I don't think it's for the whole.
But
pregnancy.
Could it probably
pregnancy? But it could be eventually.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of ethical.
They're called womb bags. No, they're like it's a real thing. Yeah, it's actually quite complicated because it's definitely bringing the like date of viability for a pregnancy up a lot. So it really complicates like the conversations around abortion, I think, and like what viability means. Because theoretically, like with a womb bag, like at 18 weeks, a fetus could be viable if you like put it in a womb bag.
Bagged it.
Anyway, this is okay. A larger conversation. Backed. Okay.
You have a safe Did you guys know that in crime scenes, if you put sorry, I'm so stressed. I'm pretty sure if you put evidence in like in a plastic bag, it could be plastic, it could be paper, I can't remember, one of the two.
Probably not paper.
It degrades the evidence.
Probably the paper. Wait, why would you ever put like evidence in a paper bag? That's
you mean like as a person who did the crime?
No.
Are we giving advice?
No,
okay.
no, as a law enforcement officer, if you're putting evidence from a crime into one of those two options,
plastic bags have got to be fine.
No, I don't think that they are. Let's Google it. I really don't think so. Because I remember hearing it and being like,
okay, Google.
Does plastic bag
degrade my evidence?
I've heard it multiple times.
Your algorithm's gonna be really fucked up after this.
Someone's gonna probably track me
you guys.
Making this question.
Just see what it says. Could you type any song?
Degrade evidence.
We're not editing this, so just
plastic bags
with us.
So there's no firsthand evidence of decomposition.
No, but that's talking about the literal plastic bag.
Okay.
All right. Well,
maybe we should.
No, I'm really.
Oh, okay, here we go. Studying the effects of
do you want to just read the paper
on DNA degradation of blood evidence.
We're gonna figure it out.
Are we?
No, yeah, because I've heard it in 2 separate investigative journals. No, investigative journals.
No
podcasts. Okay, I have.
The more you know.
This has been a concern because evidence stored in paper bags and cardboard boxes have been susceptible to extreme condition changes, and such as an evidence storage locker flooding or being stored in a freezer.
No, it's not the it's like some part of the compound of the bag.
However,
impacts.
plastic containers are known for trapping moisture as well as repelling it.
Duh.
So both things.
Yeah. So
both are good. Both are bad.
Both are bad.
Yeah.
And to this day, we don't know what they use for evidence bags.
And this is the most unhelpful part of a podcast that we've actually ever had.
Someone might learn something today.
We didn't give any like further information. We said we're actually still not sure which one it is.
And
I hope you're all taking notes.
No, and maybe them hearing this is there'll be like
inspire a research question.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. We could be talking to future change makers.
So true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we go back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you were born in a petri dish.
Yeah.
Or sorry, but
yeah. I was not born. I was born. Well, so I was pretty late. So they actually had to vacuum me out. Like they had to put a vacuum on my head and pull me out because I was so late.
That why it's that shape?
Yes, that's why it's so pointy at the top. This is the person with a large head.
I know.
You can't make fun of my head.
I know, I cannot.
What if you still had a soft spot on top of your head?
Feel it.
Oh, it's so pointy. I'm gonna cut myself.
Pretty flat, honestly. Yeah. So I was born to Gene and Ed, who both have been on the podcast. Great people, but their relationship was not compatible. So as much as we love them, they got divorced when I was 2-ish. And so they went to live on their own in two separate abodes. Yeah. And I grew up and my mom got remarried and my dad got remarried. So I grew up with 4 parents. They both got married when I was pretty young. So really my only memories are like of having 4 parents, which was pretty cool because it meant a lot of gifts for me. And then I got
gifts one of your love languages?
No, but like it just was cool as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And then I got 3 stepsisters. Because of Val's daughters. So that was pretty exciting. Loved that for me. And yeah, that was pretty much my youth. I was really into theater. And I was in like every single play and musical known to man. I was not very talented, but I loved it. Like I still think about it all of the time. And it brought me so much joy. I wasn't very good at sports, so it really was my outlet.
I think you should get back into that.
I thought about it.
Like maybe, some kind of like adult theater thing.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe. Yeah. So I was really into theater, loved theater. I loved to write as a kid. Like I would write like 50-page novels, like really emotional. One made my mom cry. I remember it was about cancer. Yeah.
It's like my sister's keeper era.
Yeah. I was really into the prairie when I was a kid. I really my biggest dream was to live on the prairie and have a collie named Echo. This is like my dream. Like, cause I don't know if you've ever read Little House on the Prairie, but I was obsessed with Little House on the Prairie.
Did you ever read Boxcar Kids?
On the prairie.
Right? I don't think so.
I was really obsessed with Boxcar Kids.
Is this your podcast, McKenna? No,
actually it is. My name is on the title.
That was a joke. Okay.
Was it?
Okay. This is getting really awkward, actually. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that was my youth. Elementary school was, my mom was telling me earlier today that I didn't really have any friends until late high school. So that's good.
Aw, do you remember that?
Apparently I didn't have a friend group really.
Who has a friend group?
I don't know. I feel like everyone else in my elementary school and middle school have friend groups. Anyway.
Who's so loyal in 5th grade?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. And then, I went on to middle school, was in the talent. I was in the talent show every single year from kindergarten until 9th grade.
I don't know why you didn't have friends.
feel like I'm getting bullied on this podcast right now.
No.
Just trying to tell my authentic truth on the podcast.
Can I ask you a question? Did you do Battle of the Books?
No, I don't know what that is.
Mel, you would have loved it.
You would have ate that up.
Literally, I would do that right now.
I would like maybe we should make our own Battle.
Can you describe what it is?
Okay. Yeah. So imagine this.
You get a team.
We've got a team. We get a team. Okay. We are like months ahead of the competition.
Yeah, maybe 4 people.
Yeah, but you have to be really strong about who you're picking because they cannot slack on you.
Because if they slack, then you're screwed.
You're so screwed.
Yeah.
So basically, the library preps. Our librarians, incredible people. All of them. They prep. So Battle of the Books, you have a set list of like 12 books, and everyone has to, throughout your team, has to read the 12 books. So librarians, they're stockpiling these books. Kids are coming in, checking out. You're reading, you're studying details, because then when the competition arrives
in the NPR, you sit on the ground
with your team.
They give you a piece of paper.
It's basically like trivia night,
but for books.
4th graders.
I would like
battling to the death for knowledge inside these books.
Yeah.
All Spanish books, I'm also pretty sure.
Were they?
I think so.
I would not have done well with that.
But it was like
highlight of my year.
Yeah, it was really, really, really fun. And honestly, that would be so fun to do as adults.
Yeah, why not?
To get like a set of books and then just do
that could
trivia
be
night about
a revamped book club.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good idea.
An idea was born.
I did love to read as a kid, so I think I would have been pretty good at that. I was really into the gold rush too. I loved the gold rush. I mean, not for
California history.
Yeah. I didn't love the missions
I was
as
just
much.
Say.
Not a big fan of missions, but yeah. Anyway, middle school happened. I would at some pod I should tell all of my talent show acts because they were pretty funny.
What was your favorite one? Would you do like comedy or like a lot of musical theater?
No, they were all me like tap dancing and singing on stage.
Oh, I love it.
Or like choreographed dancing.
So when you think back on those times, when you're about to step onto stage, what do you feel like?
Are you nervous at all?
Yeah, nervous and excited. I would say I really loved being the center of attention for a very long time. I mean, maybe still now to some degree, but more so then, like to the point where I would be kind of obnoxious just to get the attention. Now I can see why I don't have friends actually, now that I'm saying it out loud on the podcast. So I would say I really loved being on stage, but I was always nervous.
Okay.
I think I knew I wasn't particularly talented. I just did it for the love of the sport.
And how did you feel giving school presentations?
I mean, well, I feel like I didn't really give those till I was older. But I mean, I liked giving presentations. I liked public speaking. It was like nerve-wracking, but yeah, I don't know. I liked all of that.
Yeah.
I was always really into like being front and center.
Do you nervous sweat?
No. Oof. I'm not really a sweater. I know the last episode theme was sweat, but I feel like I've never been that big of a sweater.
I can nervous sweat anyone out of this room except Lara.
So you can sweat one person out of this room.
Yeah.
And Douglas.
Yeah. Well, we don't know about Kai.
True.
Anyway, and then high school, I was supposed to go to the big public high school, but at the last minute, the magnet school, I got in through lottery, which was really exciting. Although I didn't want to go there, and my parents kind of had to force me, but it ended up being so great. And I feel very grateful that I went there because it felt like a private school education, but at a public school, which was really cool.
This is really interesting though. Just a side note on private school education. When I went to a private school, it was easier than elementary school. So
yeah, I think that's fair. I think it really depends. So in high school I had a lot of fun. I was also in ASB like Lara, which is Associated Student Body. And I ran, I think similar to you, for ASB president. And lost.
I ran for senior class president.
I ran for school president. Lost to my ex-boyfriend. Shout out to Carson.
Hell yeah.
We love you. Good dude. No, really, like that's not sarcastic. Carson's a great guy. Just, I wanted to be clear. Really like Carson. Yeah, anyway, was really involved in that. I played basketball for the big high school because my school didn't have sports. I was in show choir. So I did show choir at 6:15 a.m. every single morning of high school. Early. That's why I'm a morning person to this day. And yeah, I don't know. That was all really, feel like I peaked in high school. I had a really great time.
Yeah.
I had a really great group of friends, and yeah, it was just like a really good time for me. Yeah. Then I went to GW and studied political communication and got really into politics. And that was like, I think kind of when my interests in like what I would have called at the time, like women's health and rights, started. And so I did a bunch of internships in that, really enjoyed that. Got a bit disillusioned when I worked at NARAL, Pro-Choice America, because I don't know, I think especially with Trump getting elected, it just felt like the pro-choice movement was losing all the time. And ironically, it's still losing. Nothing that I have done in the interim has really helped that much, clearly. But I wanted to see more of the public health side of abortion access. So I got my master's degree in public health while working still at the university. And then I got hired on full time. And yeah, now I work full time for GW. And I also teach group fitness and I do some personal training. And I am a volunteer for the DC Abortion Fund. And
you play pickleball.
And I play pickleball and I go climbing.
And we're working on resting.
And I don't rest. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's all of my main things.
And we're planning for a wedding.
Oh yeah, I did get engaged. I have a really lovely fiance named Ryan who unless this is your first episode listening to the podcast, I feel like you know that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can you imagine if these are the very first episodes people listen to?
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I mean, go back and listen to one of my ones. That'd be a travesty. Yeah, I don't know. Any questions about any of that?
I think we should move into our
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's me.
Oh God. Why is it not showing up on my phone?
No, it's just had to have me remind to check into my flight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not until 25 after.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. When you were in college, how would you describe kind of like were you always doing what you felt you wanted to do in like your social life and in your education, or was there kind of like a growth of like finding a place with that? I guess I'm asking because like when you talk about like college, I think it's so funny to like look at your pictures throughout college, because like I feel like your freshman year it was very like party girl Mal, like even sophomore year party girl Mal a little bit, and then like junior senior year and beyond
Mal,
it was like, you know, less of that.
I mean, GW I think is a unique university because there's a lot of pressure to have internships every semester and work basically on top of your school. So I would say like career professionally, I was working 25 hours a week at an internship like almost every semester of college. But I mean, I really did enjoy the internships that I was doing. Like I felt like I was doing what I wanted to be doing. So I would say on that side of things, I really enjoyed the work I was doing and felt like it was meaningful. Socially, yeah, to what you were saying, Lara, I think more freshmen, or we're calling them first year now, my first year at GW. So I didn't drink at all in high school, like not at all. Like really was straightest of the like people that you could possibly be. I guess in more ways than one. I'm joking, but but no, I really like my friend group, we were like the friends that would like play board games on like a Friday and Saturday night, or like make dinner and hang out and watch movies. So I got into college and I really like, that was my first time getting drunk, my first time like going clubbing, going out, whatever. So I definitely went over the top my first year at GW. I also joined a sorority. So that was a big piece of it as well. And then I honestly hit a point at the end of my first year where I was like, wow, this doesn't bring me joy at all. I didn't like being drunk. I didn't like being hungover. I didn't like how much money it cost. At the time, I was really worried about the calories. I didn't really like the people that much. Like, there are still people that I'm friends with today that I knew then, but I feel like we had to cultivate kind of like an emotional friendship after that, because so much of my initial friendships at GW were so based on just going out. They weren't actually based on emotional support or like friendship. So that was really, I think, a hard transition for me. And it's honestly a reason I think I don't have that many friends from undergrad. So many people made friends their first year that they were friends with for the whole time. And other than like Sammy and Clay and Jimmy, like I don't really have very many people. Well, Sarah, my big, but she was through my sorority. So I don't know. I think I did have to do a lot of reflecting on how can I still be social without drinking? And that is really hard. I definitely had to get creative, and now I think I would be a lot more unapologetic about my drinking or not drinking, but then I would have a red Solo cup with water in it. Or, I got really good at kind of pretending that I was more drunk than I was when I had only had like 4 sips of a beer. So yeah, it was not my favorite socially. Yeah.
Can you have anything? Not on that. I want to get into questions.
Let's get into it. When was the last time you sobbed?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote this question, but I don't know. I don't feel like I sob very often. I tear up a lot.
Yeah.
Like regularly at commercials, at sad movies, but like sobbing feels really different to me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this was actually the last time I sobbed, but I guess a time within the last 5 years that I remember sobbing. I know McKenna's like I sob every week. I don't know. I just don't sob that much.
That's fine, and no hate to non-sobbers.
What was you gonna say?
It was my mom had come to visit me in November of the pandemic. And at that point, people weren't vaccinated. It was like still very, COVID cautious. She got there and I had gotten tested the night before and it had come back negative. So we weren't wearing masks. We were hanging out all day in my apartment. And then midday, one of my coworkers texted me saying that he tested positive. And I had been with him, like wearing masks, but really pretty close by. And my anxiety went through the roof because I was so worried about killing my mom. Like at that point, lots of people were still dying from COVID. And it was not a joke. Like it was a very scary thing. And to this day, like my biggest fear was like giving my parents COVID and like having them die and having it be me that gave it to them. And I just remember like hysterically sobbing. Like I have actually never sobbed that much in my whole life. Like I really think it was my first like real panic attack. Just like could not breathe. So I remember that, and the way that I calmed down is I remember Ryan, I don't know if anyone's heard of Brew on the Radio on TikTok. Really hot Detroit guy who like is a radio announcer, like very attractive man. Anyway, Ryan was like, here, watch this. And it was just, I like scrolled through Brew on the Radio for like 20 minutes. And like, eventually I was like, okay, I'm all good. But that was like one time I remember sobbing. I feel like the other time that I remember sobbing was I got a reading, and in the reading, the person who gave me the reading said that they felt like Ryan and I were going to grow apart and break up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you remember what I told you, right?
Yeah. And I'm very sure that we are not like, I feel very good about, but after that reading, I remember getting in the shower with Ryan and just like burst out crying, and just, I definitely sobbed then. I don't remember really when that was, but I remember that being another time that I sobbed within the last 5 years.
And folks, that's why we're passionate about ethical readings.
Yeah.
Whoa. Can't believe someone said that to you. I don't remember that.
Yeah. It was a really actually traumatic time in my life, but I think it did bring up a lot of conversations with Ryan that probably did ultimately help us in our relationship. Yeah. So while it didn't feel like I'm not happy that that was said to me, I do feel like it did trigger some good conversations that we needed to have.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. What does your perfect birthday party look like?
Oh my gosh. I know the answers to this.
Okay. Is this social anxiety, Mallory, or no, I'm kidding.
No, this is perfect world.
Yeah. Perfect world is I would invite all of my close friends into a room that was locked. There is a bathroom, but it would be locked. You could not leave. Dry, no alcohol, lots of food, all vegetarian. And there would be a bunch of games being played, like mostly personality games or like personal trivia games. Maybe like, do you remember how at one of our event series we did the fun fact, or people had to guess the fun fact on the slideshow. Like I put
whose was the fun fact.
Whose fun fact was whose, like that kind of stuff. But I would actually not be at the party. Like I would be, one of the walls would be glass and it would be like, maybe all the walls are glass.
And everyone's mic'd up.
Yeah, and everyone's mic'd up, and I would be on actually the other side of the wall, and I could watch it all. Like I could walk around the whole thing. I could also like kind of get on the roof and like look down into it if I wanted to see like body language from the top. And everyone would be in there for like 4 hours, so they really have to do like full engagement. And yeah, I just get to watch the whole thing. And if I wanted to go in, I could participate for parts. And then when I left, no one would be mad. They would just like accept that I was leaving to watch it happen. That is what I would describe.
Would we know that you were watching?
No, definitely not.
That is what I thought you were going to say.
I mean, we're talking about my ideal dream one. Like in real life, it would probably be like a group hike or something. But like in my dream ideal situation, it would be you're locked in and I can watch you.
Is it just because you want to like experience, like it's a social experiment? You just want to witness your friends interacting?
Yeah, I want to watch my friends become friends.
Yeah.
And I want to like get them to all know each other. And I want to be able to watch it without like having social anxiety of like being in there.
Yeah. And like facilitating.
Yeah. I don't like the facilitating part. I just wish everyone could come together and like, do that on their own. And then I could just experience it.
I see.
Yeah. I feel like I sound like a serial killer, just like a
highly
tiny bit.
Skeptical if you ever put me in a room.
What do you think my wedding is gonna be?
Such escape room vibes.
Yeah. Where it's like all metal, like the table is metal, everything is,
and you have to solve like 4 riddles.
No, but
all of a sudden there's like paint dropped on us. Like, what is that?
Just to see how we all do.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, this sounds like the Hunger Games.
Or like,
it sounds like I am
your game master.
I'm the game master.
Yeah.
It does.
Whoa.
That would be my answer.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. What do you think you're most capable at and you're least capable at?
Is this like a trait or like an activity? You have to say one because they're way too general. If it's
activities. What's your activities?
Most capable at. I think I'm a really good writer.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm very capable at that. I'm pretty good at braiding hair, my own hair mostly. I have a talent for that. I would say those two.
And least?
Oh, at least capable. I've never been very good at most sports. So I would say least capable, but only because I don't try very hard, not because I couldn't ever be good at them. I have a big block with sports of like fears of not being very good at them. So then I just give up and don't do them. But I would say like right now, least capable, like, I mean, like I couldn't play football and like knock over a guy or anything.
It's so wild that some people are just like good at all of that.
Yeah, there's lots of
good
people
at all sports.
naturally good. Least capable. Oh, I'm also not very good at painting anything painting wise. I would say I've never been very good at like art. And that's like super general. Like I love making crafts, and I like friendship bracelets, and I like making like memory books. But I don't like painting or like etchings, like
like a landscape or something.
I feel like you maybe like paint by numbers.
I also do feel like I might like something like embroidery, where it's already like laid out for you and you just kind of have to follow it. I think I would like that kind of stuff.
Do you ever have like pre-sleep anxieties? Like can't go to sleep because you're thinking about something?
Yeah, well, usually it's because my biggest anxieties before anxiety meds would be I was really afraid of my heart. Like I really thought I was like gonna die. To be fair, like heart problems very much runs in both sides of my family. So I do think I will have like atrial fibrillation someday, which it doesn't kill you necessarily, but it like freaks me out. So I've always been like hyper aware of my heart and like its beats and its flutterings, and like I think more than other people usually. And so all day I can ignore it, but the second you lay down in bed and you are silent, it is the loudest thing in the room. And so I think most of my like anxieties would be I would get into bed and I would just like hear my heart and I'd be like, is that a normal rhythm? Like, is it going too fast? Should it be this high right now? I would just like start listening to it too intensely. Or I'd be like, that was like an uncomfortable like pang of discomfort. Like, should that have happened? Is it like because I'm laying at an angle? You can see how this would spiral. So but I don't really feel like, I mean, definitely like my parents dying. Like sometimes I would lay there and be like, oh my gosh, my dad hasn't responded to my I love you text yet. Is he dead? Like things like that. I would definitely get worried about that. But I would say those are the main two, would be like my own body, mostly my heart, and then my parents' death. And having me fall asleep and having my parents be dead and me not knowing till I wake up in the morning.
Oh, that's
so scary.
You asked the question. I'm just saying.
How do you like help yourself get out of those thoughts? Because I feel like last night I was in like I went to bed so early, and then I was just in like this anxiety fear spiral, and I just like I was like, how do I even get out of this? And I was literally like, what should I go and like wake one of you up and like make you like snuggle with me? But I was so hot already. I was like, the idea of that is not it. But yeah, I was having a hard time. I ended up just talking to myself.
When I was when I was a little kid, honestly, mostly before my dad married Val, but a little bit after too. I don't think she really loves this, but I used to crawl into his room and I grabbed his hand to make sure that he was alive. So I used to do that as a kid, but now, I mean, definitely I neurotically text my parents before bed and I wait until they respond to me before I fall asleep. So that is sort of something that is not my advice to you, but something that helps that helps me. But honestly, like definitely sometimes I just cry myself to sleep about it, or I just fall asleep eventually because I've calmed down. But there's nothing I do really.
Yeah. I used to get nervous, I think, when my dad wouldn't reply to my texts. So then I went in his phone myself and put on read receipts, and that really helped. Because sometimes he would forget to respond.
Oh, I see.
But now I see when he reads my stuff.
Yeah, my dad does that too, I think.
Yeah.
But
it helps.
At night when I'm really anxious, some things that I do is turn on bilateral stimulation music, which really seems to help quite a bit. And then if I'm really just like mind is racing, like lots of thoughts, I focus on my body. So I'll do that thing where you like start at your toes.
I do that
and like
sometimes.
let yourself relax like each inch of your body basically. And normally you never really make it above your waist. Or by the time, you fall asleep. But
I do wake up Ryan sometimes. But yeah, usually I just end up falling asleep.
Or breathing. I box breathe sometimes as well.
Edgiest tattoo you would get right now?
I mean, I think the edgiest tattoo I would get is a tattoo.
Yeah. What was the one you really liked? You got like something right here or something?
Oh yeah, well I got the leaves on my collarbone, and then I had a flower here, a sunflower.
Yeah, that was cool.
I really liked those. I do really like McKenna's like herbs on your side. I really like that. I feel like the only, as of now, like obviously this could change, but most tattoos I would get would be either like plants or mountains. I feel like that would really align with me, and I don't feel like either of those are edgy actually in any way. So
but it's a tattoo.
I did really like the body idea.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. Or even like boobs.
No, fully.
Yeah,
boobies. What is the place you've felt sexiest? Oh no, I just want to ask, what is the time you felt sexiest?
Okay. I stopped asking the sexiest place in the house. I was like, okay, time I felt sexiest. Yeah, I know that we've all said that we want to think of one that where we were by ourselves, but I don't think I can think of one. Like, I know that sounds bad, but I feel like most of them have been like sexual times, or like times that I've been doing sexual things. I mean, there's definitely been. Why are you laughing at me?
Because I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at, like, you know how sometimes like someone doesn't want to say sex, so they say like intercourse or like sexy time.
Yeah, sexual things.
Sexual things. And just reminded me of that.
Yeah, well, because oftentimes it's not the actual sex part that I find sexy. It's like the like lead up to it. Like, for example, I remember the first time I ever wore lingerie with Ryan, I wore it underneath my clothes at dinner that night. And he like put his hand on my leg at one point and felt it underneath it, like felt that I was wearing it, like not in a weird way, but like genuinely like.
Stop it.
Okay, I have to log in a second, but anyway, I'll just finish the story. Anyway, but I remember that being like really sexy, like having him know that I was wearing it, but then also like
being at dinner. And
I don't know. That was, I would say like situations like that were pretty sexy.
Have you ever had sex in a public place?
Yeah. And I was just about to say it actually. And then I was like, actually, I absolutely cannot say it given it where it was. But yeah, we did. And it was.
Can you say like building, restaurant, street,
behind a building?
Okay.
Behind. Yeah. We're going to go with behind a building.
You know what we're talking about.
Don't you? I don't know.
It was on the 4th of July, actually.
Wow.
Oh, wait, that might be too much information.
Happy anniversary. No edits.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too much information.
All right. Should we pause while I do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Wait, where did we leave off? We needed a new question, yes?
Yeah, I finished my sexy story.
Okay. If you had to live in the body of another person for a day, whose body would you choose?
Your Adele answer was so good.
Sorry, can we just like do a little intro? It's gonna be really hard to cut that.
What? Cut what?
Like I think you should say like, okay, we're back.
Okay, we took a short break for Mal to check into her
flight home,
which she did. And what's your seat?
B12.
Still not bad.
That's early.
Okay. If you had to live in the body of another person for a day, whose body would you choose?
I really liked both of your answers, Adele and a man.
The two genders.
Yeah, there are only, no, I'm kidding. There's definitely not. I don't know, like, it's so hard. I feel like there's so many different answers. Because I do really feel like I would like to have a penis.
Yeah.
And I realize not only men have penises, to be clear. However, I feel like those are the people I'm thinking of right now. It's okay.
I feel like you'd enjoy being like someone who has a little bit of power. Like, like an influential person.
Give me Joe Biden's
like,
body for a day. Let's go.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, I think that
like Hillary for a day or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be a vibe. Yeah. No, I think that's a good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good. I guess like when I ask this question, it's so interesting. I feel like there's layers of like literal body, like a literal or a literal life.
Yeah.
I feel like those are two different.
Please hold for emergency traffic. Okay, go ahead.
So I feel like they're like two different answers. Like, let's say like Miles Teller's body, just for example, that would be a great body to be in for a day.
Literally, have you ever heard the phrase, I want to be you or I want to be on you? You're taking this as I want to be on you. But this question is just, know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'd look in the mirror all day, honestly, if I were Miles Teller.
Masturbate every day.
Yeah. But then I do really like, the Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren. I think that would be really fun.
You mean my mom?
Or Pam. I would totally be Pam for a day. Oh, are you saying that because she doesn't have power?
No, because my mom looks like Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
I mean, we're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely cut that part out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a clear answer.
Okay. All right. I have some rapid fires.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
Say, just hypothetically, that you had like met the love of your life and you knew you were getting married and all that jazz. It's funny because you actually have. Would it be like deal breaker if Ryan could not get up, like had to snooze his alarm, like
Messed it up.
Sorry, guys. Would it be a deal breaker if like Ryan had to like snooze his alarm like 20 times in a day, or like wasn't, because I know you're very punctual in the morning. Because I've been yelled at before. Would that be like a deal breaker?
Where are my punctual people at? No, a pet peeve, not a deal breaker.
Okay, all right, good.
There are very clear differences between those two. I have very few deal breakers.
Okay, so we are playing the game deal breakers right now.
Okay.
Say you go on a first date with Ryan. You go home. Well, maybe not first date or first date.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah, if things went really well. First date with Ryan, and you go back to his, and his bed is
a water bed?
Not quite.
Oh.
His bed has no sheets on it. And he only has one pillow. Is it deal breaker?
No.
Not a deal breaker.
No, I don't wash my sheets ever, so I can't really judge other people's for anything.
You gotta wash your sheets.
It's just a lot of effort. I didn't wash it for 4 years of college. For 4 years, I did not wash my sheets. No, I'm not.
Not once. You never.
Not once. Just packed them away all summer. Not even between. Put them back on.
Not even between moves.
No.
Mallory.
Look, we're trying to be honest on the pod right now.
That's like super honest. That's like the most honest we've ever been on this podcast.
I might cry. That's Mallory.
I do wash my sheets probably like every 2.5 months now. Mostly because Ryan makes me.
How often do you wash your towel?
Oh, that's easy though. Like I would say once every 3 weeks. Like I just put it. It's so easy to wash towels.
That's
what you do sorry, this is giving me like a lot of anxiety. But what you do for sheet washing schedule is you just go first and third week of the weekend.
It's way too much.
That's why you have 2 sets of sheets. So then you just
see, that's the kicker. I bet Mal doesn't have that.
No, well, I have flannel and then with the non-flannel ones.
Yeah, I don't have 2 sets, but I, just do it in the day.
I have to say, like the biggest barrier for me is we have like a duvet or whatever, and you have to take that off, and that's just like a lot of effort.
I barely wash that. I barely wash the duvet cover. That's like a once every.
Well, we don't have sheets. We just have that, and then the bottom sheet.
Okay, but like
so you don't have a top sheet,
huh?
You don't have a top sheet. But do you wash your like pillowcases?
Oh well, I mean, when we wash the rest of the sheets, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I would never wash my sheets twice a month. That's just not, I know that's never going to happen.
That is, I will say, because you're blessed with like beautiful skin.
I'm not. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
No, you don't even wash your face.
I just started doing it 3 days ago.
Okay, but that is privilege.
Yeah.
I need you to know that. If I didn't wash my pillowcases, my whole face would be acne.
I feel like my whole face is acne.
No, it's not.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm just being true to myself here, okay?
I know, but I'm telling you that like pillowcases have your oils all over. Your bed has oils all over it.
And I wash them every
Okay,
2.5 months.
This is not being rapid at all. Okay. This is like a deal breaker question for like a new friend.
Okay.
Right? So you make a new friend, you're like, oh, this is really cool. You know, I need a friend. I barely have any.
That's the problem I have.
I know. And then you go over to theirs and you're like getting dressed and you notice that all of their clothing is Ivanka Trump designed. Deal breaker?
Where do you buy Ivanka Trump designed clothing?
She has
Macy's?
some line in like a big department store. I'm fairly certain.
How would I know it was Ivanka Trump?
It's just got the labels all over.
Yeah.
And so I've gone like clothing to clothing piece and looked at the labels.
No, you can just tell.
You can just tell that they're all the
of
same.
all
Or
of
maybe
us, you think
she's
I would
vocal.
be able to.
Maybe she's
Okay.
vocal about it. Like, oh yeah, the Ivanka Trump is my favorite fashion designer.
Well, that's different.
well, that's what I'm saying is happening.
Would that be a friendship deal breaker?
Yes.
I think that we'd have to dig a little bit deeper into that. I think I would.
Deeper, yeah, for sure.
Because like I guess I can see a world in which, you know, someone's a big Ivanka Trump fan, but like not problematic in any other way. I can't imagine that, but it could happen. It could happen, but it likely would not happen. And so I feel like if that is the first glass shattering thing I'm experiencing, there's bound to be more.
Okay,
where that comes from.
Okay,
but deal breaker right away, no.
Okay, so that's like a question deal breaker. Say that you are meeting a significant other in law. So like one of Ryan's siblings has a significant other that you're meeting and you're all hanging out, you really like them, you're forming your first impression. You walk out to their car. Jeb Bush 2016.
Oh,
deal breaker?
I love Jeb Bush. He's so adorable. He's such a sweet man. I mean, I'm mostly joking, but I did like the low energy Jeb thing. And I do say that a lot. So I feel like I do have a soft spot for him.
Okay.
And I feel like him in comparison to the rest of the candidates for Republican nominee in 2016, I did definitely have a soft spot towards him. Plus all like the sibling relationship. Like I feel like he was kind of like the black sheep. And anyway, I just feel like there's a lot more to Jeb Bush than we like. I feel like I would really want to talk to this person because I have a lot of thoughts about Jeb Bush. To be clear, I'm not a fan, but I have a soft spot for him.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have more rapid fires?
I have one last rapid fire.
Okay, go for it.
What is the title of the book you're gonna write? Actually, don't say that. Stop it. Don't say that. Wrong question, Lara. You're right.
It was a good question. I don't know what it would be.
What are you
though.
weirdly attracted to in a partner? Like, what's kind of like a weird thing that Ryan does where you're like, oh.
Oh, all the ones I'm thinking about are too weird.
There's got to be one that you can share. There's got to be so many. You can pick one.
We can get weird here.
Okay. I feel like I don't know if attraction is the right word, but like one of my favorite things that I feel like is a bonding thing that we do. So I feel like a lot of times, like we jokingly pretend that I can't. I don't know if I should
say it.
Is that like we pretend that one person's the dog and one person's the human, and so he'll like pretend to curl up. I laugh like a dog, like trying to find its tail, or like you know how like if you're trying to get a dog to run at you, it goes underneath your arm, and sometimes he'll put his arms out, and I'll just like do like the dog thing underneath his arms, and that is one of my favorite things we do. But I would say in terms of like weird things that I like about him, I mean, he just has the cutest face on the whole planet. So I would say I'm really attracted to his face.
Yeah.
Because he's just like such a wholesome little man. Big man. a normal sized man, you know. I call him a little man so often, but I don't actually mean that. It just is like a cute little term, you know.
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was gonna ask if you had.
He also keeps his nails so clean. Like, I don't know. I really noticed that early on. Like, he's a very clean, like, physically clean person. Like, he showers a normal amount. He's very like cleans under his nails. I feel like I've always appreciated that about him. Like, very thorough cleaner. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask if you had any like deal breakers for friendships. If I wanted to follow up on a previous rapid fire question, because I feel like you'd have very few. Like, because I feel like any deal breaker you take as a challenge. You know what I mean?
Agree. Yeah.
Maybe like if they're like, take away all the obvious, like outwardly rude like, you know, discriminates against people and all that stuff.
That's definitely not a deal breaker for me. That's a green light.
Homophobe +1.
Yeah.
No, I feel like just kind of like a quirky like thing that someone might do that you're like, I don't think we can be friends.
Well, I feel like I said it on the other podcast, and this isn't like a deal breaker, but like, I do feel like if I notice that someone is very deep in disordered eating or like obsessed with their like fitness tracker, that's not like a deal breaker, but I think it would give me a sign that I might need some space from this person, especially as like I work through my own stuff. That might be something. I also, I don't know, I'm sure we all feel this way, but there's definitely, I'm thinking about people that I've met, because I meet people and I usually I can pretty easily be like, can I be friends with this person, or I will not be friends with this person. And the people that I'm not friends with, there's always just like something about them that I just get weird vibes about. And I've said this on other podcasts, but I feel like I have a really good sense of people really quickly about them. But I can't like put it into words right now, like what the deal breaker would be. Cause it's just like, I get a feeling and I'm just like, I don't think I want to like invest in this person.
Intuition, dare I say.
Intuition. Yeah.
Wow. I think that was good.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to add? Takeaways that people should know about you?
What is something that you don't think that people see from like socials or the pod?
I don't know. Can you guys think of anything? I don't really filter much on the podcast.
No.
Maybe like almost to a fault.
You don't really filter much in life, which I appreciate.
No. It just is so much effort to filter.
Girl, I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's easier to filter on social media because you can just like choose when to do things, but it's not like I actively am like curating my Instagram, you know. It's like I just post when I'm like in the mood to do it. It's not like I'm like withholding things.
I think that maybe like it's more of like a just being like a close friend to you. You see like I guess someone might not know like that you're very good at like a one-on-one like talk through of a problem. Like they probably would by listening to the pod, but you are very good at like, let's break this down. Like we can just talk about it and I can just feel it with you, or I can talk about it with you and we can try and find a solution.
We did that today.
And I think that that's something you're really good at that people might not know.
One of my favorite things to do.
Yeah. I also think, and I'm not saying that this doesn't come across this way because I think it does, but you have a lot of knowledge about a lot of different things. You know, like you're very intelligent in a lot of different areas. And I think,
I don't think people on the pod would know how much I'm obsessed with the historical Jesus.
True.
We haven't divin into that.
No, right. I feel like to your point, McKenna, I feel like there's a bunch of like random areas that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
Historical Jesus would be one of those.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I feel like that's all I have.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This was honestly, I really enjoyed doing these.
I know, it was
hot
fun.
seats are fun.
Should we do annual hot seat?
Yeah, I feel like they were so fun, and I feel like it's good for people who maybe haven't been listening to our podcast forever. I would honestly be really nervous to go listen to our intro episodes.
No,
How we each
I would
had
never do
those.
that in my life.
No, but
those files are dead.
no, but Lara,
scrub
yours,
them.
do you remember for a while, yours was like our most listened to episode for like a solid 8 months of our podcast, your intro episode. Yeah, ours got like hardly any listens and yours got so many. And I was like, I mean, it was like
nosy people. I know you're out there.
I just remember being like, LOL, everyone's gonna know about Lara and no one's gonna know anything about McKenna and me.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, I would be terrified to go listen to that. You're good. You can come.
Yeah, we're just finishing.
We're literally almost done. Yeah.
Yay.
Gina's home.
Yay.
All right.
So we got to go.
All right. We love you all. Thanks.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Got to hear the end of the pod.
Bye.
Hello.